Good morning, everyone. Today we will quickly see the different bones, different parts of our body. Here, the activities are very complicated. If we were in the school, we can do this activity very easily, but right now you are at home. So, in this situation, we have to skip some of the activity. I will tell you the main meaning of the activity, but we will not go in deep in the activity because by just explaining you will not understand the activity we have to perform, but you cannot perform this type of activity at your home also. So in this situation we don't have option, so we will skip it. In this activity, no one, if you will read this, you will know the meaning or the function of the bones. Okay, where the two bones are joint, that portion is called joints. Okay, I will read out the activity. Place a scale lengthwise on your arm so that your elbow is in the center. Figure 8.1. So as you can see in the figure, you have to place one scale and tie two string on the hand as shown in figure. Ask your friend to tie the scale and your arm together. Now try to bend your elbow. Are you able to do it? No, we will not be able to do it. Did you notice that we are able to bend or rotate our body in place where two parts of our body seems to be jointed, like elbow, shoulder or neck? These are some of the parts where bones are jointed together. There is not a single bond, but two bonds are joined. These places are called joints. Okay, can you name more such joints? If our body has no joints, do you think it would be possible for us to move in any way at all? No, we can't move without the joints, because in a single bone we cannot bend the bonds, right? So joints are necessary for our body. What exactly is joined together at these joints? Press your finger against the top of your head, face, neck, nose, ear, back of the shoulder, hands and legs, including the finger and toes. Do you get a feel of something hard pressing against your finger? Yes, if you will press with the parts given in the textbook by the figure, you will notice that all parts are tough or hard. They cannot be pressed. The hard structure are the bones. Repeat this activity on the other parts of your body. So many bones. Bones cannot be bended. As we have discussed, bones cannot be bended. Moving to the activity number 2 and the topic, ball and socket joints. So by doing this activity, this is one type of craft, you can do it. Okay, if possible you can do it your home. From this you will know that there are two joints, ball and socket. Okay, from here in the figure 8.3 you can understand what is the ball joints and the socket joint. Okay, so the structure like this between two bonds where a ball type structure is formed are ball and socket joints. Now moving further to pivotal joints. The joints where our neck joins the head is a pivotal joints. Figure 8.4. So let's see the figure first. Okay, so here this is pivotal joint. So what is the function of pivotal joints? Let's see. It allows us to bend our head forward and backward and turn the head to our right or left. Try this movement. How are this movement different from those of our arms that can be rotate a complete circle in its ball and a socket joint? Okay, so in the arms, ball and socket joint is present through which we can rotate our arm 360 degree, right? But in the pivotal joints we can move the head forward, backward, at a some portion upside downside, but we cannot rotate it by 360 degree, right? We can see left or right, but at a 90 degree portion, not 360. Okay, so these are the two joints. Now the third one is hinge. Now, what is hinge? You all know, you have seen the hinge, the door. The door at our house is attached with the wall with the help of hinge. That part is called hinge. So now you can know by closing and opening the door what is the function of the hinge. Similar hinge joint is there in our body also. Open and close the door a few times. Observe the hinges of the door carefully. They allow the door to move back and forth. Activity number 3 is making a hinge joint by some paper. Okay, so if you want, you can do it by yourself. Now, where the hinge joint are present, hinge joints are present at the knees as shown in figure 8.6. You can see this is hinge joint. Now the next is fixed. So first we have seen ball and socket, then pivoted, then hinge, and now the last is fixed joint. Some joints between bones in our head are different from those we have discussed so far. The bones cannot move at this joint. Such joints are called fixed joints. So there are some joints where two bones are joined with each other but not for the movement. They are fixed joint only. When you can open your mouth wide, you can move your lower jaw away from your head. Okay, when we are opening the mouth, the lower jaw line or the lower jaw is moving downwards, but the upper one remain at the same position. It does not move. Try to move your upper jaw. Now, are you able to move it? No. There is a joint between the upper jaw and the rest of the head which is a fixed joint. So, this is an example of fixed joint. Now, moving further to skeleton. Okay, now many of you will know because nowadays we know the horror movies, scientific movies, and we all know what is skeleton. So now we will understand the different parts of skeleton one by one, different bones, what are their uses. Okay, we will see later on. Now, from where you can get these skeleton from X-ray, we know that if we come across the X-ray images, you will know what are the bones, how many bones are there in our body, how many bones are there in a hand or leg. We can know by this X-ray. So in your home, if any X-ray is there of any part of your body, then you can count it, how many bones are there in your body. Now, what is carpels? Carpels are this type of bones of hand. Bones of the hand are specifically known as carpels. Okay, see, finger is one. In one finger there are three bones. Okay, these bones togetherly called carpels, right? Moving further to activity 2. By doing this activity 2, you will know what is the rib cage, right? They join the chest bone and the backbone together to form the box. This is called the rib cage. Okay, the chest bone and the backbone joined together in the figure. As you can see in the figure, the chest bone and the backbone joined together to form a box. This is called rib cage. There are 12 ribs on each side of a chest. Some important internal parts of our body lie protected inside this cage. So this cage is meant for protecting some important parts of our body. Ask some friend to touch their toes without bending their knees. Starting from the neck, move your finger downwards on the back to your friend. What you feel is the backbone. Okay, if you will do this activity and touch the backside portion of your friend, you will see the backbone, or you will able to feel the backbone. This is figure 8.11 is the figure of the backbone. It is made up of many small bones called vertebrae. Okay, in hand carpels is there, in the backbone vertebrae is there. Okay, the rib cage is joined to these bones If backbone was made up of only one long, will your friend be able to bend? No, we know that a single bone cannot be bended, so we need joints, small bones placed together so we can bend easily. If backbone was made up of only one long bone, will your friend be able to bend? No. Make your friend stand with both hands pressed to the wall and ask her to push the wall. Do you notice two bones on the back and prominent where the shoulder are? They are called shoulder bone. So if you will do this exercise, you can be able to see the, or you can be able to feel the shoulder bone. Observe figure 8.13 carefully. This is pelvic bone. The figure you are seeing in 8.13 is pelvic bones. They enclose the portion of your body below the stomach. This is the part you sit on. Okay. The skull and the last, the skull. Skull is made up of bones joined together. It encloses and protects a very important part of the body, which is the brain. We discussed many bones and the joints of our skeletons. There are some additional parts of the skeletons that are not as much hard as the bones and which can be bent. These are called cartilage. Okay, cartilage. Now in the figure 8.15 and 8.16, you have to press the upper portion of the ear and the lowermost portion of the ear. Okay, you will see the difference of that bone of which can be pressed. Okay, you do feel something in the upper part of the ear that is not as soft as the ear lobe but not hard as bone, isn't it? Yes, bones are very much hard comparing to the upper part of the ear, right? We have seen our skeleton is made up of many bones, joints, cartilage. You could feel, bend and move many of them. Draw a neat figure of skeleton in your notebook. If possible, you draw it. Okay. Now the next thing we have to learn is the muscles. Many of you will be knowing what are the muscles. See, here in the figure 8.17, two muscles work together to move a bone. This is muscles. The muscle bulged due to contraction. It becomes smaller in the length. They become smaller in length to uplift that specific bone. Is it still contracted? You can observe similar contraction of muscles in your leg when you walk or run. When contracted, the muscle becomes shorter, stiffer and thicker. It pulls the bone. Muscle work in a pair. When one of them contracts, the bone is pulled in that direction. The other muscle of the pair relaxes. To move the bone in the opposite direction, the relaxed muscle contracts to pull the bone towards its original position while the first relaxes. A muscle can only pull, it cannot push. The two muscles have to work together to move a bone, as we have seen in the figure. So here we are completing the different parts of our human body, the bone, skeleton, everything. In the next lecture we will learn about the animals. Thank you.